Depois de muito tempo vamos fazer aqui a live do Genshin. Eu não tinha meio que feito, eu não tinha transmitido. O maldito drift aí. Eu não tinha meio que transmitido o finalzinho eu não tinha meio que transmitido o finalzinho da live anterior, porque era o finalzinho, mas realmente não era muita coisa assim, era só uma coisa, digamos, uma coisa mais secundária assim, sabe? Sabe quando tu terminar a quest de Arconte? Pera aí que eu tô vendo um negócio aqui. Quando terminar a quest da história lá, e tem aquele finalzinho que não vai agregar muito em nada lá, só falando com os NPCs sem muita informação assim, pá, entendeu? Então, é isso. Foi isso basicamente, tá ligado? E agora a gente já tá aqui. Eu fiquei esse tempão sem fazer live porque eu não tava muito afim de fazer live, não tinha coisa também, não tinha não tinha coisa pra fazer live também, né? Aí eu só não fiz. Voltamos pra esse lugar do dormitório. Cara, o ato 3 de Fontaine me desanimou bastante. Que aquela, eu acho que é o pior, acho que é a quest mais chata da história do Genshin.
Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirabee! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedures now!
Raindrops to falling in my head. Tá, não posso cantar direitos autorais, copyright.
Time to go.
E a gente não vai se despedir do Wesley, não, do Riot Wesley. Eu falo Riot Wesley porque quando mostraram o nome, eu Wesley já acostumei a chamar de Riot Wesley.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and...
Eita, pega! Se for água do mar primordial de novo. Se for água do mar primordial de novo. Ai meu Deus, ai meu Deus. Aí fala que a gente ia se despedir do Riot Wesley.
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily. If there really were a problem, there would be...
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Aha, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Yeah? It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice! Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now! Then be sure to come back and visit.
If you sign the release papers, then you're free to go.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just joking.
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like... Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirrodin is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. We should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia. You're going to see Monsieur Nervulette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to do.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he has...
Peraí, gente, rapidão. Peraí, já vou. Aí. Tô indo agora. Palais Mermonia. E curar um pouquinho na estátua também. Minha vida tá levemente baixa. Tem que dar uma curadinha. Céu aberto de Teyvat. Nossa, nem parece que depois que eu terminei o ato 4, eu fiz quest e eu saí da Fortaleza Merropide e fiquei fazendo quest, explorando os negócios, nossa, pescando absurdo. Vocês perceberam que meu pai fala alto, conseguiu ouvir daqui meu pai aí espirrando, mano.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Nervulette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
Cara, pior que eu odeio os franceses, assim, eu não gosto. Não gosto dos franceses, sério, por causa de uma experiência, né, uma coisa que aconteceu lá. Que daí eu acordei pra vida, mas aqui no jogo eu gosto tanto de falar Monsieur Nervulette.
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Merropide, and it appears that you've managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tivat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? Does he...
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Oh, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report that the source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area
Ai,
rose
aquela
at an
cena do
alarming rate.
trailer. Ai, já passou a nave, aquela cena. Ai. Ai, meu Deus.
What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon.
I have a bad feeling about this.
If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Nadia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish things here.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
There's no time for losers,
Please be
cause
careful.
we are the champ. Eu esqueci do copyright. Ai meu Deus, aquela cena do trailer. Baseado naquela cena do trailer aí, passou nave a cena do trailer. Só digo uma coisa. Vai dar merda, vai dar merda. Vai dar merda, 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 vai. Tá carregando, nossa, mano do céu, vai dar ruim. Vai dar... Ai, bati no microfone.
Oh no! What happened here? Nadia's shifting around here, right? We need to make sure she's still...
Návia. Návia. Návia, tem um mano ali em cima. Tem um mano ali em cima que eu vi.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance. All right. Just hurry. I'm not young anymore. How will I survive on my own? My Desiree.
He looks pretty sad.
Não diga.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way.
Shit!
Ah lá, Navia tá bem. Navia tá bem pelo jeito. Isso até toda a merda acontecer.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there.
Cara, pelo trailer, mano, vai dar... Nossa, velho, vai dar uma merda absurda, velho. Ai, mano, vai a profecia. Isso aí é o início da profecia lá de Fontaine. Nossa, eles construíram essa profecia de Fontaine aí como... Primeiro como um rumor lá no ato 1, daí foi só... depois a gente até esquece lá a Parma-Hopide lá, a gente até esquece essa profecia até chegar na parte lá que mostra Merhopide entrando a água do mar. Nossa, agora eu já tô sabendo de tudo, velho. A baleia do Child, Skirk. Vai dar merda.
So it's probably a broken leg.
Falei isso,
He's pretty shaken up.
Skirk, tá bom?
When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge.
Eu vou tentar evitar falar durante o diálogo, tá bom?
Sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Ah, right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. But before we knew it, the rushing water seemed a little odd.
Nossa senhora.
Almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now.
Tô sentindo que isso vai acontecer agora, velho. Provavelmente vai acontecer mais tarde, mas tô sentindo que vai acontecer agora, não sei porquê.
Is there any way we can help Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me. I really can't express how grateful I am.
Trouxe isso no olho.
That's what friends are for.
Trouxe isso no olho. Nossa senhora.
Demoiselle, we've got a situation here.
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
Bati no microfone de novo, nossa.
And out she goes. Seems it might be a while.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to. Of course, we should, Traveler. Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
E o jogo deu uma conquista por isso. Pera. Tá de boa. Será que se eu pegar um personagem de Fontaine, sei lá, Linney. Se eu pisar com Linney, Lynette, sei lá, Ryle Tesley, Se pisar com eles nessa
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour certainly rouses
essa água,
the
será que dá
stomach.
ruim?
But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops.
Agora que eu consegui ouvir direito com o volume do fone de ouvido, agora eu percebi que o caso fala, tipo assim, ele começa com uma frase mó filosófica assim, com a chuva e tal, daí depois manda um, mas é melhor secar a roupa depois que a chuva parar. Só agora que eu reparei nisso. Mas é que essa chuva, né? Ai, internet, pera. Deixa eu ver aqui se tá ao vivo ainda.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the
Tá
whole
ao vivo
situation
ainda.
in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver. They won't ever come back here. What?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just gone. I just can't.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
How could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not?
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Cap.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it'll save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your request. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else. I promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Obena, Han, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Joinville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Malus and Silver. So, everyone else is safe. But still...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually. I'll remember your words.
Oh, really?
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
I know.
The knave?
Ah, is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. That doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, say that you're a lot sharper than you let on.
That Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity.
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your...
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish...
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific... I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate.
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Terre. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention. By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the fortress of Meripede Sluicegate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of... During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and seem to be worth investigating in... Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent, so any pertinent information will prove extremely precious. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck. And at present, we're all busy prioritizing the rescue effort.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh! That somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right?
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Nub?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't just go back and plop myself into it. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say, traveler? All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson. Here.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on!
Bora. Distrito Bleu. Aqui. Nossa, é no meio do nada. Mas aqui era meio que bloqueado. É, aqui era bloqueado. Porque passava aqui, ó. Essa divisa aqui da montanha. É. Que era bloqueado. Pegar o... Não, pegar o TP daqui de baixo que eu acho que vai mais rápido. Se o drift no controle permitir. Ali tava bloqueado, né? Que era do... Ali tava bloqueado, que era o limite antes da atualização, antes do update. Que eu não lembro, eu sinceramente não lembro dessa ruína aqui, eu não lembro.
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
Tá bem, iniciar, esse é o meu time. Esse é meu timinho da horinha aqui. Time padrão, mas que assim que eu conseguir a funil, eu acho que eu vou... Mas eu não sei se eu vou mudar esse time ou o meu time do Novilete, que é o time para farmar absurdo. Acho que eu vou mudar o time do Novilete, que é o time de farm, que é para farmar absurdamente, né? Assim que eu conseguir a furina. Se o pitch, se o pitch permitir, se o sistema de gacha permitir. Sério, mano. Sério, seria tão melhor se no Genshin desse pra você comprar os personagens ao invés de... ao invés de você ter a chance de ganhar.
One with wind and cloud. Fate is upon you.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow.
Wind strike.
Mind the side effects. Yeah, a bitter pill to swallow.
Não consigo mais ver esse tipo, esse Hillitrue sem lembrar do Caterpillar sem lembrar do Caterpie na coisa. Se eu não tivesse o caso, né? Porque se...
The doctor will see. Let's light it up.
The wind knows it.
Sim. Pera, será que a cena do trailer na verdade é aqui?
Contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontaine would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right. You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for you to just stay here. Don't get Paimon wrong. We're not saying you're useless. It's just that...
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. I'll leave this to you. That complicates things.
In that case, do you want to wait for us?
The water levels here are
deu
unstable,
ruim.
and there's a chance the water will rise. So, staying here wouldn't be safe either. I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for...
Nossa.
Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Não dá pra quebrar esse vaso aqui, não dá não. Daí vai por... Pera, vai por onde? Como é que eu chego ali? Ah, tem uma... Ah. Sou burro. Trigo. Tomate. Cara, eu não sei porquê, mas parece encanomia. Não sei porquê. Não sei porquê, mas parece encanomia. Sério, essa estrutura. Ai. Eita! É a cena do trailer. É aquela cena do trailer. Cara, ele quase não ouviu. Yes! 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 No! 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 A nave morreu. A nave morreu. Oh, não. Não, deu até pra mim de matar personagem. Eles vão voltar, não é possível. Nave, meus. Hã?
Demoiselle. Huh? Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here to...
Maybe she just wants some time to herself.
Hmm? Oh.
Yes, it would have...
Something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. I wished him out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny?
Thanks to your help, those bothersome they were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor Obina was getting fed up with them.
Sometimes force is required to calm someone down and get them to listen to what you have to say.
That's
E essa daí? Ela caiu na dimensão dos que foram dissolvidos na água do mar primordial.
I don't know what we would have done without your help. So this... Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them.
E vão todos pra fonte de Lucine e vão virar oceanide, que nem aquela lá.
Very well.
Naquela lá do Vashir.
Something seems to... Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, your name is Burnett. That's right. Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to.
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the Opera House. Your trial is about to begin.
My trial? Wait,
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about time now.
Oh?
What the heck? Que? Mano. Caraca,
look, it's Navia. She's here.
And her two attendants are with her. Everyone's finally here.
There are a lot of people here to see Mina. Desiree. Joliville. Jolien.
Mano, ela entrou na dimensão da galera que foi dissolvida no negócio.
And why do I have no recollection of
Caraca,
this case? And as for the judge... Huh? Where...
Please sit in the defendant's
Lucio Nivelli não tá lá. É bom, mano. Cara...
Alright.
Ela caiu no mar primordial. Ela caiu no mar primordial, daí ela parou. Ela parou nesse lugar onde só tem a galera que foi dissolvida pelo mar primordial também, velho. Caraca, velho.
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Deu merda. Deu muita merda.
Enough with the whispering.
Caraca, velho.
Could someone please tell me where Monsieur Neuvillette is?
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? In that case, allow me to explain.
Isso tá muito...
As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rosula, someone held in high regard by every soul in Poisson.
Sim, tá tudo bem. Só tá... Cara, só esse inicinho da quest aqui já tá muito da hora, velho.
If anyone in need reached out to you for help, you respond. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rosula fought for the well-being of those in Poisson.
Wait a moment. Aren't you just proving that I'm a good person?
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand a key. We are one big family. All of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being so important, we couldn't possibly do without you.
Nossa, até no mundo de Genshin Impact tem processos estranhos, assim, como já dizia meu tio. Nesse país tem cada morador.
Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You will be together.
Tá bizarro.
Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me stand here like this? What?
Oh, well, if that's what you think, then I have no further comments.
Cara.
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
Nossa, eu vou querer, cara, eu vou querer ter um PS5, eu tô juntando pra comprar um PS5 que PS5 tá o zóio da cara e tem que, eu quero transferir os dados aqui do jogo do PS4 pro PS5.
Seem to remember now. Yes, I get it.
Esse julgamento é.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right.
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty.
Stay here, Navia. You're one of us.
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Fontaine, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing of her utterly independent mind.
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by
mundo aí
anything. Indeed, even the death of Master Callus couldn't stop her.
Caraca, véi.
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand to help others.
Se aparecer aquela Oceanide do ato 1 e 2, eu piro. Se aparecer a Oceanide do ato 1 e 2, eu piro. Simples assim.
Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts all, blends with all. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro.
Assim, eu não hypei tanto que eu não jogo GTA, não tenho muita vontade também de jogar GTA. Mas eu só imagino, né? Pera. Cara, eu vi que anunciaram o GTA 6. Eu não gosto muito de GTA, não jogo GTA, mas eu já tenho certeza que a galera já deve estar viradaça, assim, tá ligado? Só que o problema é de um negócio que eu vi, o problema é um negócio. Trem do hype. Foi a mesma história do Cyberpunk 2077, mesmo do Kentucky Forever, mesmo do Dead Island. A galera ficou no hype absurdo, lançou, a galera nem gostou tanto, tá ligado? Só que esse GTA aí eu já não sei se vai ser um caso tipo Cyberpunk 2077, que foi anos de hype, foi anos de hype pra um jogo bugado. Aí não vai sair bugado não, pelo menos não tão bugado. Tomara.
Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become individuals?
Do you mean? If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend Demoiselle, and that is how we will enforce justice.
Nossa senhora! Mano, é muita treta, velho.
It hurts.
Demoiselle.
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen,
Nossa,
and Mr.
FNAF.
Giovanni and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier.
FNAF, eu vi o filme, eu gostei do filme, mas eu não tenho vontade de jogar o jogo. Na real, qualquer coisa de terror, tem raras exceções. Eu faço raras exceções para filme de terror. Curti muito Lugar Silencioso, mas agora jogo de terror não faço, eu não jogo nem se eu for para pré-requisito para ganhar na loteria. Não jogo nem só para isso. Sério.
And Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will protect you to the very end.
Se tu viu o filme do FNAF, eu vou recomendar aqui um canal. Ele postou vídeos. Mas se tu viu o filme do FNAF, tem um canal no YouTube muito da hora, Sessão Nerd. Ele postou um vídeo de detalhes, easter eggs, né, e erros de gravação também do filme do FNAF. Sessão Nerd, o nome do canal. Digita aí. Então, acho que tu vai gostar. Acho que tu vai gostar. Fala de um monte de filme também.
And in the nation of trials, the majority is
não viu? Vê, é bom, é da hora.
We don't let them escape. We shall keep Navia here with us.
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just.
Navia
belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
Todo mundo aí é Oceanide.
No more excuses.
Jesus, we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an
What's with these people?
Ganhou de vez.
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us.
Miss Navia.
Falei que era tudo. New Villette. O dragão Hydro. New Villette. New Villette não. Aí, tá certo. Monsieur New Villette.
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Ele falou disso da acusação, não faz sentido, mas qual foi a acusação que o Neuvillette usou de desculpinha pra infiltrar o Éder no Merropit também? Negócio que não faz sentido nenhum também, né? Nossa senhora.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place.
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this...
A nave é tão...
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye, demoiselle.
Farewell.
Mano, caraca. Nossa, tô sentindo a boca seca desde cedo.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Caracas.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I think I saw two Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second.
but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Foi do seu ninja que apareceu e salvou ela ou foi você que usou seus bagulhinhos aí de dragão hydro?
Did you say oceanids? You mean like what?
Perhaps those two oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Tá, a teoria, Melus é Melusine.
Please come with me.
Olha esse nome, Melus e Silver são Melusine. Ó, Melusilver. Melusine. Aí, ó. Teorias. Teorias meio... É besta teoria, né? A teoria é totalmente meio...
Oh, I am quite all right. Perhaps there's something we could chat about?
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, hi, my nose. Never tight who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about, right?
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
É, ele fala... É, depois da experiência que ele passou, falar que ele era o dragão hydro... É, depois do que ela acabou de passar, ele fala que é um dragão hydro aí de milhares, talvez milhões de anos atrás. Eu acho que isso aí ia ser demais pra qualquer um. Acho que ia ser demais.
Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
Pera aí, rapidinho. Agora que eu falo da Sigewinne, eu pensei no negócio. Se as pessoas que entram em contato com uma primordial, as pessoas de Fontaine que entram em contato com uma primordial, quando entram em contato, elas dissolvem, viram água. O que acontece com as Melusines? Elas também viram água? Vocês também viram água? Que dá a entender depois, que deu para entender pelo trailer é que aquele bicho do Chad é um bicho do abismo e que tem a ver com a água do mar primordial e com a profecia que talvez seja que as Melusines são do abismo, tem a ver com o abismo, né? Aquele bicho parece ter a ver com o abismo, a baleiona parece ter a ver com o abismo, mas também parece ter a ver com uma primordial. Será que, mano, é por isso que eu amo essa merda.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately.
Isso é o começo de quest ainda.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then. So, Nevertheless, you're probably quite the swimmer, huh?
Yep.
This isn't going anywhere. Let's try something else.
Yes, in fact. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave. We had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now.
Isso tá muito estranho.
Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Olha lá o bicho. Olha o bicho vindo, velho. Olha o bicho vindo. Nossa, e não dá nem pra testar o Neuvillette. Se fosse a nave, dá pra entender porque ela não lançou ainda, né? Agora, a gente não poder testar o Neuvillette aí, achei meio sacanagem. Eu tenho o Neuvillette, mas cara, não entendi.
A bitter pill to swallow. Wind Strider. Mind the side.
Aí.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Aê. Deixa eu ver se tá ao vivo ainda. Evento ao vivo. Sei lá, só tô inventando papo. A escada vai quebrar, né? Da última vez que colocou a câmera desse jeito, ah, né? Ai, ai, não, 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 socorro! Ai. Aê! Ô louco, meu. Tá, aí eu acho justo dar uma...
Taking a turn for the better. Mind the side effects. Wind strike.
3 segundos de só lapada seca. Ai. Aí, baúzinho. Esses artefatos eu não vou pegar pra não ocupar espaço, não vou ter que excluir isso. Eu não devia ter gastado minha ult.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oh, caramba. Cara, eu vi um meme de Genshin há um tempo. E é um meme que até que representa bem, assim. Eu acho chato enfrentar o robozão aí. Mas eu vi um meme que representa exatamente isso. Mesmo eu achando meio chato enfrentar esse bicho, é exatamente isso o meme. É rank de aventura 1. Aparece esses robôs, a gente fica com medo. A gente, no rank 50 já, a gente já nem liga mais, tá ligado? Primeiro personagem nível 90, enfrentar esses bichos é moleza. Exceto se os bichos também tiverem nível 90, daí é treta. Aí, mano, economia esse troço. É igualzinho, mano. Tá, igualzinho, exagero. Mas parece muito economia. Sei que não tem nada a ver, talvez. Porque economia tem negócio de dragão hydro também. Economia também tem a ver com dragão hydro. Mas eu acho isso meio estranho, tá ligado? Estranho, que eu tô querendo dizer, é a estrutura aí que parece muito negócio de economia. Eu não vou entrar no método dos bloquinhos flutuando lá, que tem coisa flutuando em tudo qualquer lugar no Genshin, no despenhadeiro, economia, Sumero, tem tudo, Fontaine. Mano, mas isso tá muito, parece um holocron. Mano, parece um holocron. Aí, ó, não parece? Fala editor, puxa, mas eu nem eu tenho já o editor, mas a gente não preparou ainda os vídeos. Porque eu vou fazer uma mudança no canal um dia, que eu vou mudar, meio que não vai ser um canal só de live, tá ligado? Eu vou mudar pra um canal diferente assim.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Parece algo nas paredes. Pintura super homem primata. Cheio das músicas boas nessa live. Com direito autor.
Perhaps we should just leave them be for...
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the
Será que
prophecy.
não foi? Será que a primeira não foi destruída pelo
Take the
cara
second
lá
slate, for
da
example.
Casa da Lareira que veio lá, o Fatuizinho
There's a
lá?
person new here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
É Skypiea, não, mentira. A culpa é do primo de um amigo meu, enfim. Aquilo, tá bem, aquilo é Celeste. Aquilo eu sei que é Celeste, com certeza é Celeste. Ilha no Céu, com certeza é Celeste. Agora, isso daí já não sei. Isso aí é o que encanomia é o que, tá ligado? Tá, chega de encanomia, mas... Mano, bati o dedo no microfone, mas, cara, aquela lá parece a Arconte Hydro. Não pode, talvez não seja a Furina. Pode ser a Furina também, mas eu não acredito que seja a Furina. Eu acho que é a antecessora da Furina, a Egéria, a Egeria, sei lá. Né? E fala Egeria, né? Enfim. Acho mais que é a Egeria do que a Furina.
Is that Lady Furina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
Será que é o nascimento da Furina? Que nem mostrou lá na Rida, lá naquele... Lá no trailer dela. Acho que era alguma coisa tipo assim, tá ligado?
The fourth image.
Essa daí a gente viu no Atum.
Exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
Resumindo, a culpa é de Celestia. E de novo eu me lembrei de outra música. Agora é a Lua me traiu lá. O que o Novilete fez aí?
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it. Most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering
Cara, eu
ancient
tô
stone
sentindo que a
slates
primeira
isn't
foi
one of your
roubada
duties.
pelo Fatui lá da Casa da Lareira lá. Que a Arlequino falou que encontrou essas ruínas. Eu tô suspeitando e muito dos Fatui, que eu não confio em Fatui. Exceto no Linei e na Lineage do Feminine, que eles não têm culpa de ser Fatui. Agora o resto eu não confio. Principalmente o Charge. Principalmente o Charge. Eu não gosto do Charge. Eu odeio o Charge.
Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
Filho da pega. FDP.
That's right. If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
Então se eu... Mano do céu. Tô sentindo um cheirinho de prego de safira, aqueles pregos de celeste, aqueles espelho lá que ele taca. Ele taca na espinha do dragão, no despenhadeiro. Em Sumero também, não tem no mapa do Sumero. Não tem... Mano, esse eu acho que vai cair um prego de celeste. Eu tô sentindo que vai cair um prego de safira, né, que é o preguinho, aqueles pilar de celeste que cai. Cara, tem um espinho do dragão, tem um espinhadeiro, eu acredito que tenha um Sumero, tem muitos indícios que tenha um Sumero, apesar de que não tem nenhum prego de celeste no mapa do Sumero, né? Mas tem muitos indícios de que no deserto de Sumero tenha um prego de celeste. Tanto que eu acho muito estranho. Tipo assim, é a região da Arconte dentro, mas só que, tipo assim, de um lado é a Amazônia, do outro é o Saara, do outro lado é o Atacama. É gigantesco, tá ligado?
Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture?
Ai, véi, agora eu
Also,
entendi.
I'm still wondering why these
Agora eu
ancient stone
entendi.
slates are here at all.
Agora eu saquei.
Judging from their
Agora
contents,
todas as peças se encaixaram.
could this place be the origin of the prophecy? Does that mean that someone, or some people, once saw these slates?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Yeah, we better get
Mano
somewhere
do
safe for now.
céu. Mano. Eu tô que nem aquele meme do cara. Do cara falando assim. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh, mom, get the camera.
Time to go.
Oh my god. Fala que nem aquele meme lá daquele filme lá que o cara simplesmente ele mandou no meio do filme a atuação, mano, é muito engraçado. Essa cena dele falando assim, ó. Oh my god. Mano, é muito engraçado. Procura depois meme Oh my god do filme Trolls 2, não esse Trolls 2, filme de criança aí, mas outro Trolls 2 que é uma trilogia bizarra, estranha.
You know how it is.
You still have energy for that, Navia? The Hyman's already...
Just head back to the Fluvsandra and have a rest then.
Fluvsandra.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Tudo bem, te vejo amanhã. Até amanhã, monsieur.
Would that be a problem? Paimon's getting a little scared now that it's come to this.
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
All right, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fluvsandra is always open to you, as ever. All right. I'll be on my way then.
Nave aí, Monsieur Nivelito, vou embora. Sei, pai, não vou pra Espinete Azula em Fluvsandra. Tá bom, então. Cara, já dizia a poesia brasileira. Muita treta, muita treta, muita treta, muita treta. Nossa, o eco, mano. Pera, só ver quantos por cento tá o controle. Ah, tá, ok. Nossa, baixar um pouquinho o volume. Aí.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it
Mona!
is? Huh? It's you two.
E qual a skin que eu coloquei nela? O que tu tá fazendo em Fontaine? A gente tá em Fontaine, a gente é o viajante. Olha o nome, viajante. A gente tá em Fontaine, não é surpresa. Agora a Mona tá em Fontaine. Pior que no trailer dá pra ouvir a voz da Mona. E eu achei muito da hora que a Mona tem história pessoal, principalmente de Fontaine, porque ela é Hydro e também, cara, tem todo o negócio que ela, né, das constelações aí, que eu acho muito da hora, velho.
Seriously, nobody just uses a scryglass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Hidroprofetizador.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontainian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Quite unexpectedly, if I might add. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadt surname?
Pra mim parece um nome bem mais de Mondstadt do que de Fontaine, na minha opinião. Agora a Mona já é outra história.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name.
Mas que ela falou que tem negócio pra fazer em Fontaine.
She really is amazing at astrology, so
É
I changed
loteria,
my name
né?
to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as well?
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one.
Pode perguntar qual o nome dessa vez?
Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Barbeloth.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great scholar of the stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrologists.
Diria meio egocêntrico.
I know, right?
Meio egocêntrico, eu
That's just
diria.
how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Megistus is thus the calling
Deixa eu
card of
ver
our
o que
school, so
significa
to speak,
Megistus
which makes it
mesmo.
about the same as a surname. It's
Deixa eu
alright if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deeply.
Megistus. Ele vem do lituano e significa Megisto. Agora que o que é Megisto eu não faço ideia. Viagem da Triforce. Não, vai com a Triforce mesmo. Megisto, faz sentido. Megisto significa o melhor. Em latim significa o melhor, mas em lituano já significa exatamente a mesma coisa. Só muda os dois últimas letras.
My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Nossa, em Mondstadt.
Oh, that's a good thing then.
É o porto de Mondstadt. Cara, eles têm que lançar. Cara, eles têm que lançar mais parte de Mondstadt, porque tem um monte de negócio na hora falando que Mondstadt é gigantesca, tem muita parte de Mondstadt, tem o porto de Mondstadt, tem um monte de negócio em Mondstadt. A gente só tem aquele troço, aquela partezinha lá que dá pra ir que dá pra ir da ponta do penhasco lá, do negócio das estrelas lá, da colina das estrelas, até a antiga Mondstadt, né, a toca de Valen, a pé, nem precisa de teleporte. E é rapidão.
I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean.
Água do mar primordial.
That was the main reason, yes.
A profecia.
Just a while back, the
A baleona
part
do
in
Child.
Speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain and less scary.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine.
Cara, eu fiquei
Even that of all to that. Ascertaining this is akin to reading the fortune of the whole world.
Cara, eu achei muito da hora a Mona aparecendo em uma quest principal sem ser quest lendária, ou alguma quest de evento, e também também faz sentido na situação que tá aqui no arco de Fontaine. Só que eu achei muito aleatório ela aparecer no meio do ato final de Fontaine. Achei meio aleatório, tá ligado? Se aparecesse, sei lá, quest de interlúdio, daí pra mim ia ser outra história. Que daí ela abre umas exceções, tá ligado? Os caramuxes no... Os caramuxes naquele lado... Os caramuxes lá nada de... Na interlúdio de Sumero... A Elanha com o Shinobu e o... Arataketo na segunda quest de interlúdio.
The prophecy is so huge and powerful, but it might exist? Of course. The old hag could do it, and I bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar.
Are you sure?
Marbeloff era daquele lá, daquele negócio que eu esqueci o nome lá. Que faz expedições da Minsul. Que até apareceu no evento de aquele evento lá da 3.4. 3.4.
I'll tell you once I hear back from him.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing as always.
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So yes, your praises are quite welcome.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you. Of all the people we know, you know the stars the best.
Indeed, indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
É a mesma voz do Neuvillette.
Do not hesitate to inform the Spina di Rosula.
Nossa, parece que ele tem a mesma dublador do Monsieur Neuvillette. Mano, parece meio um dublador.
So guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now. If I receive any news, I'll be sure to come find you two again.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks.
Minha gente tava mito fazendo uma algazada. Tenta falar mais baixo. Tá conquista até. Tem até aquela conquista secreta lá se você abaixar o volume dos diálogos do jogo. Nossa, chega de cutscene. Aí, pera aí que eu vou pausar aqui rapidão, que eu vou no banheiro. Ah, tem esse achievement aqui que eu tinha esquecido já. Love is... Por que esse nome tá em inglês? Provavelmente é uma referência ou tiveram preguiça de traduzir. Naves com água primordial. Tô sentindo que é uma referência essa conquista aqui, mas eu vou do banheiro rapidão, já volto. voltei. Tá bem. Pegar o mapa daqui logo, né? Não precisa sair para depois coisar o coisado. Vou fazer um coisamento do. Entro para coisar o coisado. É. Tô doido. Pera aí.
Time to go.
You're here! Finally!
Is something...
Monsieur Yervalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Eita, é Arconte e Dragão brigando. Então deu merda. Deu ou vai dar. Ou já deu e vai dar mais merda ainda.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
Então era Egeria mesmo.
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns,
O que você quer dizer com todos os arcontes têm seus segredos? Muito estranho,
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations, and there are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your... You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
Muita treta.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type. Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with...
Tem alguma treta rolando sério.
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do I make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but this may be cruel to him, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Depois em mais tranquilo de poço. Nossa. Aí, carregou.
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the...
That's what families should do.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for...
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Sei lá, mano, às vezes o Freminé às vezes parece meio triste, sei lá, dá dó dele, porque parece que toda hora tá meio triste.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in port.
Well then, I guess you're lucky you got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Tá todo mundo aí, velho.
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the traveler,
vai aparecer a Arlequino.
As for what that is,
e o Diamono também.
Let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create...
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand. And used on the spot.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Ew.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker, if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
A Lynette é assistente de todo mundo, né?
Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're real...
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So, are we going hunting together?
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Mais achievements, nossa, o jogo dá achievement pra tudo. Tô sentindo que esse ato ainda vai demorar. Pera, vou coçar minha cabeça aqui.
meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else... it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure you'll do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Huh? Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining.
Who's that boy?
Aw, have you forgotten me all?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from...
The voice from the sky, You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously.
Eu não lembro dessa...
Consider me a
É da voz do final do ato de Sumero? Do final do capítulo de Sumero? Eu jurava que aquela voz era do Apep. Vai.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
Então é aquele lá, daquele grupinho de monstre. É Hexen's Arquil, lembrei, Hexen's Arquil.
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes.
Acho, se eu não me engano, Barbeloff é da Hexen's Arquil. Essa aí, bruxa, não sei o que, deve ser da Hexen's Arquil também. A mãe da Clea é da Hexen's Arquil. Tá tendo importância bastante agora, né? É um negócio que tem a ver com a Jinsu, que tem a ver com o Sumero, mas tá tendo importância agora, né?
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods. Could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but... you know...
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are ultimately. Fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality.
The voice. I want to hear someone talking. Alright. Hey, it's you who's getting...
Well, I see I've walked in some lively banter. Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more... Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations.
A jornalista é a Charlotte, né? Eu rodei no banner da Furina, dei 28 tiros. 28? Não. 28 tiros. Eu consegui a Charlotte.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes. It was Charlotte. I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but...
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon.
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, but I've never met her. And if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa, the Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when, or perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon, are you two alright?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too.
SMR de estalar os dedos. Concentra, TDAH.
I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational. Perhaps that's what Em is trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Cara, só vou teleportar aqui pra cima. Só vou terminar aqui. Só vou teleportar aqui pra cima e eu vou encerrar a live. Eu termino amanhã. Tá bom? Foi isso por hoje. Valeu, falou, fui. Tchau.